16 days were nearly over, and the end of my Jordan adventure was looming large. In just a little more than a fortnight, I had covered a wide cross-section of the country. From the scintillating nightlife of Amman and the Roman experience in Jerash to scuba diving in Aqaba and mountain biking in Petra, the images were quickly tumbling inside my head. This had been one exhilarating ride, and it was not yet over. I was now headed to Madaba and some places around it. As the car ate up miles, one after the other, the scene changed. Empty factory plants transformed into quiet deserts and then circled to animated cities. I was on the King's Highway, the 335-kilometer long road that stretches from the south of Jordan to Amman, in other words, the heart of Jordan. I crossed Wadi Mujib, the large gorge to the east of the Dead Sea. Locally, it is called the Grand Canyon and is stunning, much like its US counterpart. It will arrest you with its hypnotic giant brushstrokes that seem to be embossed on the yellowish-brown mountains. Soon the serpentine stretch of the King's Highway changed into the dusty roads of Madaba. The city is just about 30 kilometers from Amman and rests on the Jordanian plateau. Taking advantage of the bright sunny morning, I opted to browse through the shops and stores lining the streets. Weaving is a traditional art form and a chief source of income for the Bedouin tribes and villagers. The Bani Hamida rugs that are still made on traditional ground looms by this tribe is a piece of art. I was not aware that Madaba supplied quality raw material to weavers across Jordan. Almost all places in Jordan boast of exquisite mosaics, and now that I was in the city of mosaics, I was keen to explore this terrain.
Very nice shop.
Thank you.
Beautiful mosaics.
Thank you, sir.
Who has made all these mosaics?
It's naturally it's my work and my friend's work.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Could you tell me how you make these mosaics?
There is many ways to kind of this work. Yeah, the original one, this work.
Okay.
And this is Jordanian work. This is old mosaic. We use cement inside. Of course, we bring more bigger stone. Then we cut stone, small pieces. Then we cut in hand. And this is experience here.
How do you get the color, the different colors on the mosaic?
No, this is natural color. It's natural, yes. Yeah, stone and marble, onyx. There are many kinds of stone and natural color, yes.
How much will it be?
Now, one like this, it's not expensive. You can get maybe 35 dinars.
I see.
Yes.
And something like that?
Some like that, it's different work. And it's same work, same stone. This one and this one, same stone.
Interesting.
It must take infinite patience to create one small diagram. Imagine creating a map with nearly 2 million tesserae. Well, that's where I was headed, to look at one of the oldest maps of the world, at St. George's Church. Madaba is just about 26 kilometers in total area, so it was not difficult to find the church. It is located northwest of the city center. It is a quiet locality, probably because of the church and a school that is situated in the church compound itself. A simple mosaic nameplate greets you as you near the church. This first Greek Orthodox church was built between 540 and 565 AD during the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Justinian. Even back then, Madaba was a vital city point on the eastern bank of the Jordan River. The line of ornamented golden chandeliers, colorful murals decorating the walls, and the warm brown tones infused color into the bland interiors. But the pride of this place is occupied by the mosaic map on the floor that describes the Holy Land. A lot of the pieces are missing today. Actually, only 1/3 is left, but it is still quite impressive. Jerusalem is placed right in the center, and in one corner you can see the Jordan River flowing. The purpose of the map is still contested. Some believe it was meant to guide pilgrims across the Holy Land. Others believe it describes Moses' promised land, as Madaba is located close to Mount Nebo, where Moses died. Or simply, it is a piece of Christian art. Whatever may be the reasons, it is undoubtedly one of the most precious historical and spiritual links that can be found today. Take your pick: the brilliant mosaics of the Church of Apostles, the stunning views from Mount Nebo, and much more in a short while. Madaba is literally sitting over its priceless heritage. So many mosaics from the 5th century to the 7th century are scattered all over Madaba. Locals say that if you dig under the homes, you will find still more. I headed to the archaeological park next to explore some more. Madaba was an important Christian town in the ancient times and even had its own bishop. Mosaics were used to decorate most of the churches of the area. Once again, I felt that I had entered a time warp. Outside was a modern street with its traffic, while within the complex were columns and arches and bright mosaics from a different era. The Department of Antiquities had bought many neighboring houses that were built on Byzantine mosaic floors to create the park. Mosaics from Hesban, Main, Kastal and Mount Nebo can be found here. Most mosaics are disfigured, as in 726 AD, Emperor Leo had decreed that images of people and animals will not be used. So in the detail of a mosaic floor from Main, you can see the Greek inscription that says, "The lion shall eat straw like the ox." The biblical scene has been, however, substituted by floral designs. Mounted on a wall is a section of a mosaic from Main that depicts the cities of Eshbaun and Gadoron. The paved street is a part of the colonnaded Dacumenus Maximus, or the principal gate street that ran in the east-west direction of the ancient town. In the same complex is the Church of the Virgin Mary. One of the prettiest mosaics was discovered here beneath the church in 1982. This was the Hippolytus Hall, a rich Byzantine mansion, and the mosaic shows Euripides' version of the Phaedra and Hippolytus legend. The Church of Apostles was the last on my Madaba itinerary. It is close to the archaeological park and was built in 578 AD. Every mosaic here tells a tale, like the one with different pigeons or the medallions that personify the sea. The colors have faded, but the stories they say will remain sharply etched in your head. Madaba was a feast for the eyes, although I admit it is only the mosaics that will attract you. Next was Mount Nebo, one of the holiest sites here, just 10 minutes from Madaba. It is situated on the top of Velka Plateau at a height of 100 meters. Mount Nebo shot to fame as the place where Moses died after showing the people of Israel the land of Canaan, the land that he was not destined to enter. The Moses Memorial Church that was constructed in the 4th century has become a focal point for tourism. The Franciscans restored the area. His Holiness Pope John Paul II visited the site in 2000 to celebrate the beginning of a new millennium. Serpents have been blamed for the fall of humans in the Garden of Eden. However, the bronze serpent erected by Moses on a pole saved people from the deathly plague. The serpentine cross by Giovanni Fantoni is a tribute to this legend. There was something otherworldly about standing on the same Moab plains from where Moses was shown the promised land by God. From being the dream of a few to the faith of many, here I could feel the very tangible touch of time. There is Bethany beyond the Jordan where Jesus Christ was baptized, the medicinal waters of the Dead Sea, and much more coming up right after this break. Close to Mount Nebo is yet another pilgrimage site, Bethany beyond the Jordan. This is the place where Jesus Christ began his spiritual journey, and it is believed that it is here that he was baptized by Saint John, and later at the age of 30, when he donned the preacher's robes, he was anointed. Walking through the jungle of Jordan will make you feel as if you're walking through wilderness to reach salvation. The air was thick, must have been 45 degrees Celsius. The greenery, however, is like an oasis in the desert. According to the Bible, Saint John would baptize people in the Jordan River and had told people of the arrival of Jesus. Later, when Jesus came from Nazareth, he insisted Saint John baptize him. Believers also say that this was the place where a chariot of fire and horses appeared and took the prophet Elijah to heaven. The 7th century church of John the Baptist stands forlorn. The sheltered ruins of the church has a small basin that contains the water of the Jordan River. The river is no longer a gushing force, rather it is a narrow stream. On the other side is Israel. Both countries share the waters of the river. The gleaming golden dome and compact shape of the new Orthodox Church of St. John the Baptist can be seen right next to the Jordan River. The place in itself was not grand, just wooden arches and beams. It is the weight of history that it carries that gives this unassuming place its magnificence. A simple observation that struck me as I looked around this holy site was the passage of any religion is always fraught with hurdles, and it takes great courage to keep the faith alive. The importance of places like Mount Nebo and Bethany beyond the Jordan cannot be overstated, as these are living emblems of this courage. It was time to head back to the city. My evening was spent meeting some friends whom I had met during my travel. A pleasant evening in true Jordanian style, with a hookah, some coffee and music. What more could I ask for? After a very spiritual experience, I headed to the Dead Sea for some therapeutic indulgence. I had reached the lowest point on Earth, the Dead Sea, where no life, not even algae, can survive due to the rich salt content, is actually a 9-mile wide and 50-mile long lake. It lies between Jordan and Israel. According to the book of Genesis, the Garden of Eden was supposed to be near the Jordan River Valley around the Dead Sea. I had joined the ranks of King Herod and Queen Cleopatra no less when I decided to enjoy the luxury of the Dead Sea. It is not just about vanity. The mineral-rich waters have been known to have treated a number of ailments. Even the air here is 8% richer in oxygen. It felt just great to be lounging in the water, especially when I did not have to make any special effort to float. The salty water buoyed me. It will feel strange at first to stay afloat, even if you have never tried swimming before. It is like invisible hands are keeping you in place. It is impossible to drown here. The salt will sting you though, and I had my fill after just about 10 minutes. I could see some tourists applying a black paste all over their bodies. Curious, I set out to find out. This black mud that I was happily caking myself with was pelloid, a mixture of hummus and minerals cooked by the earth, excellent for the skin. Dead Sea is surrounded by some excellent spas and resorts. I had made plans to make just one more tourist stopover before heading to one of these, Rasas. Rasas is sandwiched between the King's Highway and the Desert Highway. It was the ancient Roman military camp in Mayfair. However, most of the usual signature Roman architectural marvels are absent. Except for the clear stone arches, the rest of the city is in ruins. My guide had told me about some centuries-old mosaics that can be found here. But as they say, the best laid plans of mice and men. Well, I couldn't complete my exploration of Rasas as I fell ill. So I headed back to the Dead Sea, to the comfortable confines of my hotel. One of the best things about the spas and resorts here is the stunning background. Can you imagine the opulence of resting on one of these chairs, sipping something cool, and watching the waves come strolling by the shore? Magnifique. This is what people mean when they say, live the good life. Fantastic hospitality, discreet staff, and a whole lot of space. This was luxury redefined. The last thing I remember looking at was the swimming pool that reminded me of a huge crater or a portal to another planet. I would be heading to Amman the next day for my flight out of Jordan. The desert has many secrets. I tried to unravel some. In Jordan, I often felt that I was walking on live pages of a book. Everywhere I turned happened to be a significant spoke in civilization's wheel. It was overwhelming to see 3 timelines: the past, present and future packed so tight together, sometimes struggling to coexist, at other times melting into each other. What was I taking back from Jordan? A brand new me.